De Lille calls for meeting with new Public Works Minister following 300 million cybercrime theft probe. Patricia de Lille says she will meet with Department Public Works and Infrastructure DPWI Minister Dean Macpherson following the revelation that hackers stole 300 million rand from the department over 10 years. De Lille, currently Minister of Tourism, said she will further request a copy of the report for the period relevant for her time at the DPWI. I hereby wish to state that I was the Minister of DPWI for just under 4 years. There were 2 other ministers at DPWI during the 10 years period referred to in the new minister's statement. During my time, I was able to recover 253 million rand related to leases where government was overcharged. I have an agreement with the Special Investigation Unit SIU, who seconded 2 SIU officials to help investigate all allegations in DPWI, De Lille said in a short statement. She added that once she has seen a report relevant to her time in office, she will be able to respond further. During my tenure at DPWI, whenever any irregularities and alleged corruption was uncovered, I acted swiftly to report matters to the Auditor General and the SIU, De Lille said. Earlier this week, Macpherson revealed that in May, cyber attackers stole a further 24 million rand. This prompted a full forensic investigation by the Hawks, South African Police Service, State Security Agency and expert in the ICT and cybersecurity industry. Macpherson said it had become clear that the department has been a soft target and playground for cyber criminals for over a 10-year period, and this should have been picked up a lot earlier. I felt it important to let South Africa know that what has happened and what we are doing about it. I cannot discount the possibility of collusion between officials and criminals in this prolonged period of theft. It is clear that we need better financial controls, which I have said to the department are a matter of urgency, he said. He further welcomed the precautionary suspension of 4 individuals, including senior managers, and including seizure of over 30 laptops to further examination by the investigative teams. 4 suspended, laptops seized as Department of Public Works and Infrastructure unearths 300 million rand theft. New Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure Dean Macpherson has revealed that his department has unearthed a cybercrime-related matter that resulted in a staggering 300 million rand stolen over the past decade. Macpherson revealed that in May, cyber attackers stole a further 24 million rand, and this prompted a full forensic investigation by the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, known as Hawks, the South African Police Service SAPS, State Security Agency, and experts in the ICT and cybersecurity industry. These details emerged as Macpherson and Deputy Minister Sishes Kalala conducted detailed assessments on the work of the department and through the incoming briefing from department branches. It has been clear that the department has been a soft target and playground for cyber criminals for over 10 years, and this should have been picked up a lot earlier. I felt it important to let South Africa know what has happened and what we are doing about it. I cannot discount the possibility of collusion between officials and criminals in this prolonged period of theft. It is clear that we need better financial controls, which I have said to the department are a matter of urgency, Macpherson said. He has pledged to crack down on these syndicates and those in cahoots with them, internally or externally. We want to put a stop to this immediately because we cannot allow our department to be subjected to unchecked looting. This is money that could have been spent on our infrastructure drive to improve the lives of South Africans. The investigation will be expanded and deepened to find the masterminds and the beneficiaries of this grand theft, and I want to see them in prison, Macpherson said. 4 officials from the department have been suspended and 30 laptops have been seized by investigators. The suspended officials include 3 in senior management and 1 in middle management. The department was forced to shut down all its payment systems, causing significant delays in the payment of its creditors. In May, the department announced it ordered a full forensic probe into what it called the vulnerabilities in the department's information and technology systems. The department identified the cybersecurity vulnerabilities with the assistance of its banking partners, including EBSA and the South African Reserve Bank. The investigation, which involves cyber and ICT security experts, covers the following: causes of the branch and vulnerabilities, vulnerabilities and susceptibilities to cybercrime of the ICT infrastructure within the department, lack of staff capacity and weak ICT systems. I welcome the precautionary suspension of 4 individuals, including senior managers, and the seizure of over 30 laptops for further examination by the investigative teams. This will allow the investigations to proceed smoothly. We are appealing to the team probing this security breach to conclude the investigation with speed. We do not want prolonged investigations with no results or consequences. There is simply no place for corruption in this department, Macpherson said. He also welcomed the initial swift investigation launched by his predecessor and now Deputy Minister. The department has suffered a massive financial loss, and those responsible for protecting us from cyber criminals must be held to account. We need answers to what happened under their watch. We will also ask the investigators to trace and follow the money and ensure that it is brought back to the coffers of government, Macpherson said. Meanwhile, Macpherson guns for construction mafias. On 5th July, Macpherson guns for construction mafias. Reclaiming hijacked buildings, tackling construction mafias, and helping eradicate pit toilets in public schools are among the priorities that were newly appointed Public Works and Infrastructure Minister Dean Macpherson had identified. In an interview with the Cape Times on Thursday, 5th July, a day after his swearing in as minister, Macpherson outlined plans for his department, saying the government owned about 88,000 buildings and nearly 5 million hectares of land that should be used for the benefits of the public. I met with the Director General and we're going to start conceptualizing about how we reimagine and utilize public assets for public good. I think it's critically important department that maybe hasn't received that attention and focus that's needed. I think it's a key lever in driving the economy through having government assets that work for the benefit of the country and having a strict focus on infrastructure development. On the so-called construction mafias and how he intended to tackle the growing issue hampering a number of government projects, Macpherson said, "We have to adopt a zero-tolerance approach and we are not going to allow any single person or grouping or forum to hold South Africa hostage. They are disadvantaging communities that require infrastructure to better where they live. We have to take a zero-tolerance approach to it, and we need to do in conjunction with the SAPS, so hopefully I'll be meeting with the Minister of Police soon." We're also going to have to engage communities because we need communities to work with us to identify the ringleaders of these mafias. Macpherson said they would have to turn to the courts for evictions first to reclaim hijacked buildings. Then we're going to have to reclaim them buildings. From there, we're going to have to decide what we want to do with these buildings, where it is possible that municipalities or provincial governments can better use those buildings. In recent years, the DEA has called on then Minister Patricia de Lille to release certain assets, such as military based in Cape Town, for affordable housing. On how he would approach this issue, Macpherson said his job was to make the assets available to implementing departments, whether it be local government, provincial government. We've got to look at unlocking tracts of land and building for social housing across the country, so it is definitely a priority of our department. We have first to know what we own before we can do anything with it. Macpherson said he wanted to collaborate with other departments. I want to have a discussion with the Minister of Education about how we can possibly look at a joint program to eradicate pit toilets. In my view, I'm convinced that it's going to be done through collaboration and collective working agreements across various forms of and spheres of government. Crime experts Calvin Rafadi said construction mafias most of the times camouflage as a business forum. They come to projects saying they belong to a business forum of the area. Then they don't want 30% of the job, they don't want to work for it, they only want 30% of the project value in money for doing nothing. Government needs to change that regulation that 30% must be given to the forum and make sure that the 30% is rather spent on actual people hired. Also make sure the data collected from the forums are really young people of that area, he said. Housing activist Tini Mohau added that there were many vacant public buildings in Cape Town and the need for housing was huge. And that's it from INJIBS Network. Stay tuned to our celebrity and gossip news.